thought you didn't want to play that game. Did you like it? You didn't like it? Is this because I didn't play the game with you? Oh, you're killing me, Elaine. What do you want me to say? I didn't keep my promise.
You didn't. And it sucks, because The Last of Us was so good.
You could have taken that call if you wanted.
Do you know what I hate? Nostalgia. I hate it because it's something we cling on to so much. I think that's why I like The Last of Us, because it looks at nostalgia in a realistic kind of way. And I really felt connected to the characters, be it Joel or Ellie, but especially Joel.
It's all the feels. There's no getting away from that. Either you let it all in or you're a heartless fuck. And that scene at the beginning with Joel and his daughter.
I have to admit, I kind of teared up a little bit that scene.
Oh, I believe you.
You did too then?
Well...
You cried.
I mean, they make you play as her in the beginning. She even buys Joel a watch on his birthday, a watch that she pays for with her own allowance money. How cute is that? And then zombie/human plant outbreak, all hell breaks loose. And then 15 minutes later...
But that's what makes it so good. Because when Ellie turns up in the story 20 years later, Joel doesn't open up to her.
Well, not at first, but gradually he does.
Well, obviously. But at the beginning, he really shuts himself off.
But even if in the beginning he is like that with Ellie, you then have that small scene where Ellie's looking at the sunset in the distance. And Joel, just for one moment, looks down at his daughter's watch.
Wait, really?
You didn't notice it?
Do I look like I noticed it?
Oh, it's such a small detail, but it tells you so much about him.
You're messing with me.
I can assure you, I'm not. It's really difficult to notice it, but it's there.
Yeah.
What do you think of Ellie?
I really like her. I really like the fact that something as simple as makeup is completely oblivious to her.
That's the thing. It makes sense, though. You know, she's just there with a magazine full of models, and she questions why people do that.
You mean diary, not magazine?
Oh, magazines, diaries, same thing.
Oh, yeah, exactly the same thing, Jake. I mean, she was born after the outbreak, so her normal life is surviving day by day. Of course she has no idea what makeup is. The game is full of awesome moments like that. Like, what about the moment where she's pretending to play video games?
Which part?
The part with her best friend, where they find the arcade, but there's no power. So Ellie's pretending to play the video games using her imagination. You don't remember it?
I don't... I remember her talking about her best friend, but that's it.
Oh, right. It's in the DLC. You never played it? You never played it? Do you remember when we used to go to Right Square?
Of course.
Did you know it shut down last week?
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Really wish I wasn't.
Do you remember how we first met each other?
Kind of hard not to. You just stole my last copy of Uncharted 2, and I was there left hanging in the store.
Stole.
Grab, stole, same thing.
Oh yeah, exactly the same thing, Elaine. I remember seeing how frustrated you got. You just stood there and stared at me with such an angry face. I didn't know what to do.
I wasn't that angry. Okay, maybe I was a little bit. You then walked up to me, and I thought you were going to gloat because you just got the last copy. I I couldn't even look at you. And then suddenly, in the corner of my eye, in popped Uncharted 2, catching me off guard. I then realised you were handing the game to me with your arms stretched out. You're so unbelievably shy about it. You were handing the game to me, but you couldn't even look at me.
Well, you know, didn't want to steal your game.
You then walked away, never looking at me. And when I saw you leave, I was just like, I can't let that nerd go. Not at least without a thank you.
You say that as if you're not a nerd.
It's a nerds world, Jake.
Well, the funny thing was, you ended up leaving the shop with the game still to be paid for.
It's still worth it though, right?
Well, yeah, you got a free game out of it.
That's not what I meant.
I got a free game out of it. Well, we ended up playing Uncharted 2 together, so technically I'm right.
Yeah. I still can't believe Neil never brought it up afterwards.
He never knew.
Oh, he knew. But because he liked us, he never said anything.
He was really nice.
He was.
Was he still at the shop when it closed? Still, we had fun though.
I never told you this, but I never actually wanted to play the game with you.
Yeah, you never did like sharing.
Was I that obvious?
Well, put it this way, if someone had been killed by my PlayStation controller, they'd still throw you in jail because your fingerprints would be all over it.
But the train sequence, Jake, how do you expect me not to play it?
Yeah, I can't argue with that. You could have died less in that scene though.
Shut up! Compared to you, I was practically immortal. Don't forget, it was me that got us through that scene. You couldn't stop dying. I remember staying up all night with you, playing the game, staying at yours, just playing it till sunrise. I miss that, Jake. Why did you have...
I...
Do you know what I bought right after I finished playing The Last of Us?
Crash Bandicoot?
Yes, exactly that. How did you know?
I remember you saying you were a Crash Bandicoot fan and took a wild guess. You played all three back in the day, right?
Yeah, I did.
But, wait, I thought your brother didn't let you play video games.
No, he didn't. He hated sharing anything with me. When I got home from school, I had like a couple of hours before he'd get home. He'd normally stay and play football with his friends. So, being home alone, I would just play Crash Bandicoot and replay it again and again. And he bought all three. So I played them all, replayed them all. And even though 3 was the better game, 2 was by far my favourite. So much fun. And even after completing them all, I still wanted to beat my high score and find all the gems. Those were the only games I 100% completed.
But wait, couldn't your brother find out that you were playing Crash through the saved data on his memory card?
That's why I bought one and had it hidden, just so he won't find out.
So you never got caught?
No, I did. He was so pissed. He even wrecked my memory card. I was so angry. I cried my eyes out, and I started hitting him really hard. My mum even had to separate us. I think that's when he saw me in a different light. And he was never mean to me again. I don't think he realised how important video games were to me during that time. Because, I mean, think about it. You spend hours, days, weeks, months even, playing a game, and then all that memory gone. Just like that.
I wish you had told me that story sooner.
Me too. Do you know what's weird about nostalgia? Before I played the Crash games, I remember watching my brother. He never knew, of course, but I was there, behind the couch, peeking. The first game he bought for PlayStation 1 was Tomb Raider. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. He'd spend hours trying to figure out how to solve each puzzle. And I was there, hating that I couldn't be sat next to him, but also admiring him from a distance. I thought he was the best at playing video games, and I would never be the same. But then, a decade later, there I was, in the same living room playing the remake. I was in awe of the imagery. They even redone the music, but kept the main theme. So hauntingly beautiful, it transported me back. I was finally able to play Tomb Raider 1. And I was just as good as my brother.
He must have been terrible then.
Still better than you. It's kind of an achievement for me. Now it's been another decade, and in some ways, I kind of miss the remake more than the original.
You've become nostalgic about nostalgia. Those moments always seem more fulfilling after they're gone.
So, not so fulfilling then.
Last time I spoke to you, I'd just finished The Last of Us.
Yeah, you finished it. All by yourself.
You are still mad that I played it without you.
You were living abroad, I get it. You had to keep yourself company. It's also been 3 years.
But you're still hurt about it, clearly. Can you just tell me one thing? Are you hurt because I played it without you or because of what I said?
To be honest, neither. It's about what happened afterwards. I was young, I was so into gaming at the time. I mean, we got together because of it.
You're not into gaming anymore?
Not for the past 3 years, no. Not after what happened. I also moved abroad for a little while. Met new people, new friends. I finally had a social life.
Elaine.
I moved on. I grew up. I had a couple of things after you two. I mean, nothing serious. And then, last week...
You came across right square.
I just happened to be walked by and saw it was closing, permanently. I went in and Neil was still there. He almost cried when he saw me. I could tell the shop meant a lot to him, but of course, he had to shut it down. Couldn't keep it open, not with everything going digital now. So I decided I would buy one last game as a sort of farewell. As I walked down the aisle, I saw The Last of Us. I was scared to play it. The fact that you played it back then without me made me so mad. And then we had our fight, our biggest fight, and then... But I had to play it. I had to see what all the fuss was about.
Do you want to talk about it?
No, not really.
I didn't mean
Don't.
to...
This isn't a game, Jake. We didn't get to load to a saving point in our life. Pretend it's all good again.
Then why am I here?
Because... We didn't have much in common, but we love gaming. We were together for 4 years and it was great. My mum hated that I played so much, but Dad wasn't around, as you know. Nowadays, it's completely different. But 7 years ago, gaming was still seen as child's play. We bonded over that. And then for the past 3 years, I had to move on without you. I stopped gaming, I had to. I have friends now. We talk about books and go and see the movie adaptation and talk about how it normally sucks. I flirt with guys and we go on dates. It's fun. I moved on. Except I didn't. I was still running away from the one thing I had always liked doing most. And I think on some level, I was blaming gaming on what had happened. But being in that store again, right before it closed permanently, and seeing that game in there, I just had to buy it. I went home, I was nervous. No, I was scared. Anxious. But I put it in and I played it and it all came back. I realised how different I was playing games with you. I just sat there with a controller in my hands, not knowing what to do or who to turn to. I wasn't used to it. Not without you by my side. I miss those days. Playing games with you, having someone to play games with and talk about games. Weird thing is, my friends actually like gaming. I just couldn't talk to them about it. It didn't make sense. Not without you. Maybe that's why I prefer Joel. Because after you lose someone, you look at life differently. What was once taken for granted isn't anymore. But living with the fact that the last time we spoke was that fight. That horrible fight. I was so hard on you, and for that I am sorry. But also knowing that you said those things to me. You broke our promise, and you still said all those things to me. And I'm never gonna know. I know you didn't mean it, but still. I don't want it to be our last memory together.
Excuse me. We're about to close now.
Oh, how much was the cup of coffee?
$1.50. I hope you don't mind me asking, but were you expecting someone? I'm sure he didn't mean to.